just proud of the guys. Battle of the elements. This is New England. This is what we try to embrace. We want to embrace it all season long. Props to our defense. Played a hell of a game. We got to protect the football better, but we made enough plays to win it.
While most of the conversation has centered on the defense, the turnovers, and the brutal weather at Gillette Stadium, one moment from Drake Maye's post-game press conference has completely taken over the internet. Before getting to that viral exchange, the context matters because this was not an ordinary playoff win. This performance functioned as a statement, a declaration, and a clear reminder that New England has re-entered the league's most serious conversations. Drake Maye is only 23 years old in just his second NFL season and already guiding his team to Championship Sunday. That reality alone deserves emphasis. Many quarterbacks at that age are still adjusting to complex coverages and disguised blitzes. Yet Maye is commanding playoff games in freezing conditions against one of the league's most aggressive and disciplined defensive units. However, this performance was far from flawless. The stat sheet tells a messy story.
I got to be better with the football, when I'm, taking off and running, and from there, just know that the football is the prize possession, and when we don't turn the ball over and put our defense in bad spots, I like our chances.
4 fumbles, 2 of them lost, numbers that typically haunt quarterbacks long after the final whistle. Those are the kinds of mistakes that dominate highlight reels for the wrong reasons, fuel criticism across social platforms, and often swing postseason games in the opposite direction. In most playoff environments, that margin of error is unforgiving. Yet New England controlled the game anyway, winning convincingly despite those setbacks. That contradiction is where the narrative truly shifts. The ability to survive mistakes, absorb pressure, and still dictate the outcome speaks to something deeper than clean execution. It reflects composure, trust within the locker room, and a team built to respond rather than collapse. This win did not come from perfection. It came from resilience, discipline, and timely answers when momentum threatened to swing. That reality reframes the conversation entirely and sets the stage for why one post-game moment resonated so strongly beyond the box score. It's easier when the team is still winning. That reality kept everyone grounded because the scoreboard never stopped favoring New England. Enough plays were made at the right moments, and that ultimately decided the outcome. The focus never drifted from what truly matters in January football: surviving and advancing. The defense set the standard. That mindset is what separates solid quarterbacks from elite leaders. Drake Maye did not dodge accountability or deflect responsibility. Mistakes were acknowledged without hesitation, but they were never allowed to define the night. The attention stayed locked on the result, the scoreboard, and the only outcome that counts in the postseason. That level of clarity under pressure is rare, especially from a second-year quarterback operating on the biggest stage of his young career.
Are terrible. This was a game you probably should have won, yes. But in the NFL, a win is a win is a win is a win. And we haven't had many of these since 1999. We're going to enjoy this one.
Come here, bring it up here, fellas. Get in here tight. Okay, I can't wait to tell people I get to coach the Patriots. Okay, I get to coach you guys. Okay, on Sundays. It's an honor and a privilege to watch you go out there and compete.
Meanwhile, the defense delivered a performance that bordered on overwhelming. 4 interceptions in the first half alone against C.J. Stroud flipped the game on its head before Houston could settle in. A momentum-shifting pick 6 by Marcus Jones ignited the stadium and instantly tilted control toward New England. From that moment forward, the tone was unmistakable. Relentless pressure collapsed pockets, forced rush decisions, and erased any sense of rhythm the Texans hoped to establish. This was not a bend but don't break effort. This was domination layered with discipline, speed, and physical intent. While national coverage spent the week praising Houston's defensive firepower, the New England Patriots unveiled their own cold weather enforcers ready to thrive in chaos. The snow, the turnovers, and the stakes only amplified the message. This was not just a win built on defense alone. It was a complete team response anchored by leadership, accountability, and timely violence at the line of scrimmage. Performances like this redefine playoff identity and signal that New England is no longer rebuilding. The foundation is set, the standard is clear, and the moment never looked too big. The conversation online isn't just about the win, the defense, or the weather. The real explosion on social media is happening because of what Drake Maye said about Mike Vrabel and the way those comments caught fans completely off guard.
Embrace the strain and also enjoy every minute of this.
Throughout his post-game press conference, Maye kept it respectful and locked in, giving credit to his head coach for the structure, discipline, and daily pressure that helped shape him this season. He explained how Vrabel constantly pushes him, challenges him, and forces him to think faster, react smarter, and step up every time the offense hits the sideline. Every conversation between them after a drive, according to Maye, isn't just noise. It's something meaningful, something useful, something designed to sharpen him like steel. But then things took a turn, in the best possible way. Maye let the world see the side of Vrabel that players talk about quietly behind the scenes. He mentioned the coach's sarcasm, the kind that hits you like a brick wall, the type of sarcasm that makes you want to laugh but also makes you think twice because you can't tell if he's joking or trying to check you. Hearing a young quarterback admit that on camera gave fans a moment they didn't expect. It was raw, it was funny, and it was real in a way NFL interviews rarely are. The internet grabbed onto it instantly because it showed a human moment inside one of the league's toughest locker rooms. Maye didn't stop there.
It's easier when you're still winning. So that's why I kept reminding the guys we're still ahead on the scoreboard, and that's what matters. We made enough plays to come up with the win, and like I said, our defense.
He's got a little, tough sarcasm where I want to laugh, but you don't really want to. But
he added that Vrabel's presence alone can shift the energy in any room he walks into. The tone changes. The air gets heavier. Everyone sits up straighter. Vrabel doesn't have to scream or pound the table to make his point. He just stands there, arms crossed, eyes locked in, and everyone understands the assignment. That kind of presence is rare in football, and Maye made it clear that he feels it every single day. The young quarterback sees Vrabel not just as a coach, but as a force that demands excellence at all times. What fans are loving is how candid this moment felt. Maye wasn't trying to create a headline. He wasn't trying to go viral. He was simply speaking honestly about the man who helped drag the Patriots back into relevance. And the authenticity hit harder than any trash talk could. It made fans appreciate the dynamic between quarterback and coach in a whole new way, especially during a season where leadership has been the theme from start to finish. That single moment, Drake Maye laughing nervously as he describes Vrabel's intimidating sarcasm, is now being shared everywhere. Clips are circulating on TikTok, memes are being posted on Twitter, and fans are calling it one of the funniest, most genuine press conference moments of the year. And in the middle of a playoff run, moments like this matter. They show chemistry, they show trust, they show belief, and for a team trying to fight its way back to the top of the AFC, that kind of connection is exactly what keeps a locker room locked in, unified, and dangerous when the lights are the brightest.
Probably haven't had a whole lot of time to reflect upon that, but just what does that mean to you?
Yeah, it means we're winning. That's what matters. Haven't had a lot of time to reflect on it. God says we're on the go. We keep going, and just proud of these guys. It was fun in here. The atmosphere was great. Hey, we're not playing back here, but look, we're on the road. We got a big one.
But he's also not pretending to be some fully polished superstar who has every answer already locked in. He's showing the world that he's still learning how to deal with the intensity, the tone, and the pressure that comes with playing for someone like Mike Vrabel. And that honesty is exactly why the clip exploded across social media. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, every platform lit up within minutes. People weren't reacting to some crazy quote or controversy. They were reacting to something real. In a league where most players sound like they're reading off cue cards, Drake Maye gave the internet a moment that felt natural, raw, and refreshing. It reminded everyone that these players are navigating relationships, emotions, and expectations in real time, even while carrying the hopes of an entire franchise. But here's where it gets even more impressive. Maye's level of self-awareness is rare for a quarterback this young. He knows he's still figuring things out. He knows he still has flaws. And he isn't afraid to admit it openly while also leading his team straight into the AFC Championship. That isn't a contradiction. That's evolution. That's a young quarterback growing up in front of the entire league and embracing every part of the challenge. His handling of the brutal weather proved that mindset. The snow was relentless. Visibility was trash. The ball was slick. The field was basically an ice rink. It was classic New England playoff chaos, the kind of game that usually eats young quarterbacks alive. Yet even with the fumbles, and those weren't soft mistakes, those were blizzard-created problems, Maye never lost control of the moment. He kept his composure, kept pushing, and kept commanding the offense like someone who's been in these playoff dogfights for years. And when he spoke to the media afterward, he didn't dodge responsibility, he didn't point fingers, he didn't try to soften anything. He simply acknowledged the truth. The elements were brutal, the defense kept them alive, and the team did enough to walk away with a win that mattered more than any box score critique. That attitude is exactly why he's winning over the locker room and the fan base. And there it is, The mentality Vrabel is drilling into this roster. Embrace the difficulty, embrace the chaos, embrace the uncomfortable moments, because those are the ones that separate contenders from the teams that fold when things get ugly. Maye could have easily blamed the weather or shrugged off the mistakes, but instead he leaned into the identity that New England has always valued.
Yeah, I give a lot of credit for the booty throw, because that was the one that came at the end, right? You get 4 fumbles to your name by that point if you're Drake Maye, and an interception too on a Hail Mary attempt.
Look at this catch.
I don't look at that all that closely, but this catch is ridiculous, remarkable.
Insane.
Toughness, accountability, and resilience when the lights get intense. This is the culture Vrabel wants, and Maye is soaking it in like a sponge. The fans noticed too. Gillette Stadium was absolutely shaking in the fourth quarter. The cold didn't matter. The snow didn't matter. Every fan in the building felt like they were watching a new chapter of Patriots football being written right in front of them. The energy was wild, the belief was real, and the entire crowd fed off the confidence radiating from a 23-year-old quarterback who refuses to flinch. No matter what the scoreboard, the conditions, or the critics say, the crowd was singing in unison, shaking the stadium like it was alive. This wasn't just a playoff win. This was a franchise rediscovering its identity after years of searching for direction. This was a young quarterback stepping into the spotlight as the new face of a historic organization. And this was Mike Vrabel, a major piece of the old Patriots dynasty, now leading the team back toward glory as the head coach shaping the next era. The viral moment with Vrabel revealed something deeper about this entire squad. There's a real bond here, real trust, real connection. Maye isn't giving empty answers or recycled quotes. He's processing the moment, reflecting on what he's learning, and letting people see a glimpse of the dynamic between him and his coach in a way that feels genuine. That connection is helping build a culture where players feel empowered to be themselves while still being held to the highest standards every single day. And that balance is rare. Most coaches push too hard and alienate their players, or they go too soft and never reach championship levels. Vrabel is hitting the perfect middle, laying down expectations while also building relationships strong enough to survive the pressure of January football. The stat line from the game tells one story: 18 of 31, 221 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 4 fumbles. On paper, it's messy, but the context tells a much bigger story. This was a quarterback battling freezing conditions, adjusting on the fly, keeping the offense steady, and making the throws that mattered in the moments where the entire season hung in the balance. He trusted his defense to cover him when he slipped, and they did, over and over. When he said, "We made enough plays to win it," that line summed up everything that makes playoff football different. Championships aren't built on perfect stat sheets. They're built on resilience, toughness, and making the right plays when the lights get brightest. That's exactly what New England did. Embrace the strain and enjoy every minute of this. Those words echo the whole mindset of this team. Fight through the pain, embrace the chaos, and love the grind that separates contenders from pretenders. Now the Patriots are flying into Denver for the AFC Championship. Mile High Stadium, hostile crowd, thin air, #1 seed, a mountain of challenges stacked against them. But after seeing the way Drake Maye handled pressure in this Blizzard game, after watching the defense swarm all night, and after witnessing the culture Vrabel has built from the ground up, there's a real question hovering over the AFC right now. Are we watching something special being born? Because everything about this team feels ahead of schedule, dangerously ahead. A 23-year-old quarterback, 2 seasons in the league, 1 AFC Championship appearance already locked in, and a viral moment that revealed exactly who Drake Maye is. Composed, authentic, unbothered by pressure, and completely locked into something bigger than stats or headlines. This is a quarterback growing into a franchise cornerstone right in front of the entire league, and the momentum surrounding this team is getting louder by the week. If they keep playing with this much heart, discipline, and swagger, the story of the postseason might be shifting toward New England quicker than anyone expected. A confident, self-aware, and authentic leader who is not afraid to be human while chasing greatness. The internet cannot stop talking about the comments regarding Vrabel's sarcasm. But the real story lies in what those comments truly reveal. This is a young quarterback learning from one of the sharpest minds in football, embracing discomfort, absorbing hard coaching, and steadily writing his own chapter in Patriots history with purpose and composure. This moment was never about jokes or sound bites. It was about growth. It was about respect earned through accountability and resilience under pressure. This is only the beginning, and if Maye continues making enough plays to win, something much bigger may be unfolding in Foxborough. The road now goes through Denver. The stage becomes louder. The margin for error gets thinner. The pressure multiplies. But one truth is already clear. Drake Maye is ready for whatever comes next. Sarcastic coach, brutal environment and all. Fully prepared to rise when it matters most.